Morning students. Today we will start the new chapter, chapter number 4, separation of substances. We have studied about mixtures in the last chapter. Mixtures are the impure substances which are formed by mixing two or more substances in any proportion. So it contains the undesirable components, and these components can degrade the properties of substances, so they are needed to be removed. First, we will try to know that what is separation of mixtures. Now, it is the process of separating the components or constituents which are present in a mixture. This is done by using the different properties of the components present in the mixture. The property of a particular component is different from the property of another component, and this is used to separate the components of the mixture. Now, why it is necessary to separate the components of the mixture? So this separation of mixtures is done to extract any useful component of a mixture, to remove the harmful and undesirable components of the mixture, and to obtain a pure sample of the substance. There are many techniques to separate the components of a mixture. Some of those separation techniques we will study in this chapter, which are evaporation, sublimation, distillation, fractional distillation, separation of components using the separating funnel, magnetic separation, filtration, and chromatography. The first separating technique is evaporation. As we all know, the process of converting a liquid into the vapor state, either by exposing it to sun or by heating, is called evaporation. This method is used to separate the soluble solids from a solid liquid mixture, like the mixture of salt and water. In this method, the solution is heated or kept open in the sun till all the liquid evaporates, leaving behind the solid component. Evaporation is mainly used to obtain the common salt from seawater. Evaporation occurs at any temperature, and its rate is directly proportional to the speed of wind. That means high temperature and the wind helps in increasing the rate of evaporation. We will do an activity to separate the common salt from the salt solution. For this, the materials required are common salt, a china dish, a wire gauze, beaker, tripod stand, and a Bunsen burner. We take some water in a beaker and add common salt in it. Dissolve the salt thoroughly to make the salt solution. Take the salt solution in a china dish, place it on the wire gauze placed on the tripod stand. Light the burner and heat the solution gently. We will observe that the amount of solution begins to reduce, and after some time a white residue is left behind in the china dish. The reduction in the amount of solution is due to the evaporation of water from the solution. The white residue which is left behind after evaporation is common salt. In this way, common salt is separated from the salt solution by the process of evaporation. Next method used to separate the mixture is sublimation. This method is used to separate the mixture of solids where one solid sublimes and other does not. This is a process in which a solid directly changes to the vapor state on heating. On cooling, the vapors change back into solid, and this solid is called the sublimate. Examples are ammonium chloride, iodine, naphthalene, and camphor. Now we will do an activity to separate the components from a mixture of ammonium chloride, which is sublimable, and common salt. For this, the materials required are a mixture of ammonium chloride and common salt, a china dish, a tripod stand, wire gauze, glass funnel, cotton, and a Bunsen burner. We place the china dish containing the mixture of ammonium chloride and salt on a tripod stand. Cover the china dish with an inverted glass funnel and plug the narrow opening of the funnel with the cotton. Heat the china dish over the wire gauze till white fumes evolve from the mixture. These fumes are caused by the sublimation of ammonium chloride. Stop heating and let it cool. On removing the funnel, we will observe that the fumes have changed back to pure ammonium chloride, which is deposited on the upper and cooler parts of the funnel as a white sublimate. The non-sublimate component, that is common salt, is left behind in the china dish. Thus, a mixture of common salt and ammonium chloride can be separated through sublimation. The next separation technique is distillation. This is used to obtain pure liquid from a solution. In this method, the solution is first heated so that the liquid evaporates. The vapor thus formed is condensed in another vessel. The liquid obtained after condensation of vapor is very pure. So we can define distillation as the process of evaporation followed by condensation. It is useful in obtaining pure water from water containing the dissolved impurities. Distillation is different from evaporation. In distillation, both the solid and the liquid components can be obtained, while in evaporation, the liquid evaporates and only the solid component is retained. Let's do an activity to obtain the distilled water from the common salt solution. For this, the materials required are solution of common salt in water, 2 round bottom flasks of different sizes, a condenser and a Bunsen burner. We pour the salt solution in the first round bottom flask and set up the apparatus as is shown in this figure. Light the burner and heat the solution in the flask till the water begins to boil. We will observe that the water starts changing into steam on heating. Steam on passing through the condenser liquefies to form water, which gets collected in the second round bottom flask. This water is known as the distilled water, which is pure and not salty to taste. The salt is left behind in the round bottom flask. This way, the common salt is separated from the salt solution and distilled water is obtained through the process of distillation. The distilled water is used by doctors and chemists to prepare various medicines and solutions. In laboratories, special apparatus is used to obtain the distilled water.